He's like the Morrissey of horror films. You know, he doesn't have sex. You know, he just goes and kills.
The Mindbuzz Podcast.
This is MB64 on the Mindbuzz Podcast with Santos from 88 miles per hour. Coming up right now.
The Mindbuzz Podcast.
Santos, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, what's up? Thanks for inviting me to the show, bro.
This is probably going to be the coolest visuals that I have ever done on this this platform. So thank you for being here for that.
Yeah, no problem, man. I wish I had a better background, but I'm in the bedroom, so.
It's all good. Just like we were talking about, Charlie Brown being a family man. I think you nailed it, dude.
Yeah, see, me and Lucy, we moved in together. We got Snoop and then little Woodstock. So that's Woodstock sleeps right there, right behind me.
Dude, okay, so can you guess what my costume is right now?
All right, let me see. All right, I mean, because at first when I saw it, I'm like, oh, this guy's going 70s, but nah, you have to be a character. So, can I get a hint, like movie or TV? Or is it a real person?
It's a real person, but I'm trying to nail music with this one.
A real person with music?
A real person that's a musician.
A real person that's a musician. God damn. I don't know, bro.
Okay.
I can't think of who you would be. I wish I would. Nah. Once you say it, I'll be like, oh man.
I mean, I don't.
Oh, are you seriously Rick James? Are you supposed to be Rick James? That's funny. Oh man.
Yeah, I try to hit that one, but dude, so you know how like you have a vision of like what you're gonna look like or sound or whatever, right? You built this illusion that you are, who you're gonna be, right? So I had like the costume and everything just sitting there, and I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna look badass. They're gonna know who I am, And when I start to put it on, I'm like, dude, I look like maybe a cross between a young Ramon Ayala or some other, Hispanic, Chicano
you just
singer
look like
in
me,
the
Theo,
80s.
bro. Yeah, that's it. You just look like me, Theo.
Right? I am everybody's Theo
Yeah.
in the 70s.
You're like, hey, who am I supposed to be? I'm like, hey, you're Theo Juan, bro?
Yeah.
Or are you from my mom's side? Which one?
That's funny. I'm the cousin that always sleeps on the couch.
Yeah. See, well, that's what happened with me with because I went bald, like, so I started going bald, so I just shaved it off. And I used to love I always still love Halloween, but like I would dress up and whatnot. And then what's it, Star Wars Celebration was coming up, and I wanted to go with my podcast, but I'm like, I want to dress up, but I'm like, dude, everything I wear is like Cholo. Like I'll look like a Cholo, Cholo being in cosplay. And then that's when like it hit me, like I'm like, oh wait, hold on. Cholo, Han Solo, Han Cholo, like, oh, and then that's when I ended up doing the Han Cholo, but it was only because I went bald. And after that, it's like, if anything I try to do, it's like, I had a whole Marty McFly costume and everything I used to wear. But I don't do it anymore because I just look like Martin McFly, I'm like, it doesn't work out. So,
yes.
Some work, others don't. That's why look, Cholo Brown, Charlie Brown. Bald head, minus the little swirl.
No, it works out perfect, dude. And before we get into, the show, uh, give us a synopsis of your podcast.
All right, so 88 miles per hour podcast. What it is our show. It's not necessarily a movie review podcast. It's more of a revisit. So it's me and my friend Freddy, who we, as we put it, we hop into our DeLorean and we travel back in time to revisit the films that we grew up with and talk memories of stuff that just comes to like about our lives, like with our family. Like one of the last episodes, we talked about going to the movies with our parents and Halloween, where it's like, oh, what did your parents used to dress up at, and so on and so forth. And it's really what we do, and we try to infuse a lot of comedy. We don't really go on script. It's always free flowing for us. And we've had different versions of the show. We're on season 7, but if you happen to be like, I want to check out this show from episode 1, you're gonna hear a different voice, because then when I first started is with one of my old friends. Her name was Renata, and we would do the show then. So it was very, at that time, all 80s, just nothing more. Like, no, you could not 90 or 79. No, everything had to be in the 80s. So all our topics, from fashion to movies, games, all of that, we kept it like that. So it was always just talking about movies we loved. And then as time went on, it's like, hey, we have a DeLorean. You should be able to change it different, so it's really what it is. And we, being Chicanos, me and Freddy, my current host, Freddy Morales, we a lot of times like we'll go into the Spanglish. Freddy would talk a lot of Spanish too at times. So
Awesome.
we mix it up, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's just we're just having fun and revisiting the movies that we loved, and we talk about it, find maybe things, and a lot of times like skits, like we just did, like for instance, not Scanners, but the one before that we did Wall Street, and we came up with like a Mexican version of Wall Street. Where and it's just like we'll do that. We'll do little bits and skits, and we'll have fun with it. We'll do voices sometimes, and yeah, that's what the show is. And it's 88 miles per hour podcast.
Sweet. And of course, everybody knows that I'm going to put the links down in the show notes. Anything that's affiliated with you guys. But we are just a few days coming up to Halloween 2021. Totally different environment as far as our society, the way we live, taking children trick-or-treating. Last year, I mean, depending on where you were as far as the virus and all that good stuff, now they're saying that we're okay to trick or treat. I really haven't been checking that out. What are your thoughts?
I mean, with the whole, like my last year would have been the first year for my son's first like trick or treating, and that was the hard part, because like, oh man, like, because he was born in December of 2018, so
Oh,
by the
okay.
time it's
Yeah.
like, oh, like it's gonna be perfect. He could walk, then he could
Yeah.
put the bucket, and that was the one thing that bummed us out. But we ended up finding this one spot that was like giving free in and out if you go there. It was like a
Oh,
church.
yes.
We're like,
Okay.
hey, go get some. So he
Yeah.
got to trigger. It was like trunk or treat, and the way
Okay.
they were handing out the candy, it was actually, not gonna lie, it was pretty badass. It was some of them, they had like these pipes, like those what's the Blue Man Group pipes that they have? Those white that they use for.
Oh yeah, the PVC piping.
Yeah, there you go, PVC pipes. There you go.
Okay.
I'm a Blue Man Group. So they have it like a slide almost. So the kid would put it in the bottom, and then they'll add the candy and go, woo, to have a little fun. Or they were doing those like those grabber sticks to hand it. That's
Oh
what they were
yeah.
doing last time.
Okay.
But this year it might be a little different. I guarantee you, people will probably still,
Oh yeah.
walking up, putting the candies. I mean, a lot of people have been lax, but I mean, just for safety, I mean, people are probably gonna still.
Yeah.
I'll be wearing a mask. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I want to be safe. Like, I don't want to get sick, but
Yeah.
it's cool that.
Nobody wants to get sick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it should be fine for the trick or treating. I'm excited with the kids,
Oh
but
yeah.
down the street, we literally need to do one block, and that's it. Right here in Pomona, there's just one block, and that's it. You're done because it's so full, and plus they're little
Yeah.
kids.
Oh,
It's not like,
sweet. Yeah.
when we were kids, we'd be like, go all over the neighborhood.
Dude, right? I I remember that walking. I grew up in Whittier, like in Uptown
Mm,
Whittier. We used
watch out.
to hit Uptown Whittier, and then from there, I lived in South Side Whittier, and we used to just go. We used to go up Lambert or walk up Whittier Boulevard, hit all the stores, and we would go trick or treating for hours, for
Yeah.
hours.
It was just one of those things, dude, like you wouldn't be tired. What's up? Because you were a kid, so you had all this energy. And I remember I would walk blocks, and it get to the
Yeah.
point where like it's late. And you know what's weird? I I have I have a freaking 12-year-old. No way in hell would I let him and like his other little buddies head out and go do this. Like, yet we like my mom, my dad, like, hey, just come back at whatever, like at 10, just be safe. Okay, we'd all do that shit, like ride our bikes to the mall, all that, but like
Yeah.
no way. I'm like, no, we're all walking together. But yeah, dude, I fucking like we never went trick-or-treating to Whittier, but all of like La Puente,
Yeah, of
like
course.
it was by ourselves, the whole area heading up, maybe heading over to the next cities over and shit. Um, but yeah, like I don't know how we did it without like, and we wouldn't even feel it the next day. Like now I feel it.
Yeah.
Within an hour, I'd be like, ah, my feet are.
Yeah, my feet are swollen. I need to go. I'm losing filling in my knee. We got to go home now.
Yeah, seriously, right?
But what do you remember as a kid trick or treating as in your costume? Was it something homemade that you used to do, or just used to go out and buy one?
Well, I know like the early days, like my mom, she would go to those like the Ann's Fabrics or whatever and
Yeah.
buy the fucking pattern. So I would be like a clown, Dracula. So she would make me my costumes when
Oh,
I
sweet.
was very little.
Yeah.
So like, and I was obsessed with Dracula a lot when I was little.
Okay.
Like I would do it before and after Halloween because I love the teeth. So I would always be in all reality, most of growing up, like very little, I would always be in costume. Like I loved Rambo, Mr. T, freaking the Karate Kid. So I'd always be dressed up. So certain moments my mom would buy like the Karate Gi, she didn't make that. She went and bought it. And I could be the Karate Kid for Halloween or whatever. But as I got older, it was very much about just buying, and if I don't know how old you are, but I was at a time like right at the tail end where you would go to the store and it'd be a box like yay big, and it would come with the plastic mask and then the whole costume that like
Mm,
you put over you.
yeah.
Like I think they kind of brought them back, but that was what we would do. So you wanted to be like Spider-Man, Captain America. You got the mask and then the whole suit that you would put over your body, and that was like a cheap, easy way of being a character. But yeah, I always bought it. I always bought my
Really?
costumes. Like
Oh,
as
okay. I
I
see.
started getting older, every time I never made them. Not until like my 20s for like those parties. I would go to thrift stores and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would usually just buy.
Yeah, dude. When I was younger, I remember one year, my cousin, she was way older than me. I think she was in like no, she wasn't that older than me. I think it was like
Yeah,
6 or 7, and she was like in her 20s, and I had no clue where my parents were, but my memory was that she dressed me up like a girl.
she dressed
And
you up like randomly like a girl. Like okay,
yeah,
you're gonna
she
be a
was like,
girl
yeah,
today.
yeah, yeah. Well, hey, Gil, what do you want to be for? I'm 7 years old, dude. Right? What do you want to be for Halloween? I want to be a fireman or a Ninja Turtle or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, she's like, how about we get you in as a girl? And I'm like, oh my, this is nuts. And she got me a dress. I was wearing nylons. It was the
Yeah.
whole
So
thing,
you
dude.
went all out. Like you didn't like, oh, it's just the dress, that's it. Like you went full on girl.
Full on. She put a bra on me and she stuffed the bra. Uh, the wig, she made the wig. We didn't buy it. And
Yeah.
I want to say what this
Wait,
was.
she made the wig? How she made
She made the
how
wig out of purple yarn.
Okay. Maybe you would look more like a Raggedy Ann, but with purple hair.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go. See?
There we go. Yeah. But they were like I would go like around the neighborhood and uh they now I'm thinking about it because maybe majority of the adults that were giving me candy thought I was dressing up like as a prostitute or something. At
Oh,
7
so it was at that level? Like it was kind of like
It was
risque
it
looking?
was flashy. At 7 years I
Oh,
think I was like 7. I think like 7, 8 or something like that, but yeah, I was really
yeah.
young. I was really young and I kind of I was just like I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to think back
Yeah.
then. But yeah, dude, I was a girl and that was probably the most fun I've ever had. I actually during Halloween and Halloween
Really? Oh,
nights.
okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's
because
good.
yeah, for this instance, because I was hanging out with my cousin, right? And she was older. So
Yeah.
she took me out. So we went all over Whittier and the surrounding places. I mean, I always have a great time with my cousins doing that. Yeah, and she she was all into Halloween and stuff, and it was great because she actually got me into the holiday, growing up because
Yeah.
I had a very religious family and Halloween was just the
Oh, were they
worst
like
thing in the
the
world.
Jehovah's Witness or no?
No, they were it was a Christian faith. The denomination was evangelical Christian.
Mm.
I
So
mean,
no harvest festivals?
they did the harvest thing. They did the
Yeah.
harvest thing, but the dressing up stuff and everything was just a no. And then especially, I mean, come
Yeah.
on. I'm 9 years old and my cousin's dressing me up as a girl. I can only imagine going to
Oh,
church dressed as a girl, you know.
yeah, seriously. Yeah,
But
nothing is allowed. Though what was weird because my old church, it was non-denominated Christian.
yeah.
They would do a put on a whole huge harvest
Mhm.
festival. And then yeah, like the whole city would go and trick or treat and
Yeah.
costume and stuff. So they weren't like crazy, like, no, you got burnt and dressed up. Like, I mean, they were cool
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
But
it was very borderline like fundamental Christian.
mm,
Yeah. But yeah, like reading Harry Potter and scary movies and, Friday the
that's a
13th.
Diablo.
Yeah, Freddy versus Jason. She actually took the same cousin too, took me to watch Freddy versus Jason. Again, I have no clue. I was super young in that one, and I had nightmares. Freddy is probably one of the scariest characters I think out of the
Yep,
horror genre.
I completely agree with you on that.
And the only reason is because his world is subconscious. Like it's not. Of course, I mean, think about it. That's. I mean, the concept of Freddy Krueger is fucking scary, dude. This guy kills you in your
And you're
dreams.
yeah, the place where you're one of the aside from being naked in the shower, that's like the most vulnerable spot is you being in bed sleeping.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then that's where he could get you in your dreams, like where you're supposed to be an escape and he'll come after you.
yeah, and especially when he comes out into the real world, right? I mean, I haven't really dove too much in the background story. I think the last couple days I've been stuck on Jason Voorhees and Friday the 13th.
Oh, okay.
He's Freddy Krueger is my next
Mm,
dive into. But yeah, uh Friday the
uh,
13th
yeah.
uh is one too.
Yeah, like I know the whole mythos of like Nightmare on Elm Street is I mean it's pretty dark like what like I know like when you try to like oh how where did he was like a real person like he was a child killer slash child molester, so he was just a terrible all around person, and as he was being killed like he made this deal with some weird floating demons or some shit, but
That was
where he
fucking
came
weird.
from his mother was a nun, like she
Yeah.
was a nun that worked in an asylum, and I get and then what was it like she got locked up like accidentally left in a room with
Yeah.
a bunch of
Yeah.
like crazies, and they like ravaged her and raped her for like I don't know how many days, and then she got pregnant. So all this evil created this evil child. And like, yeah, it's all this. I don't remember 100%, but because I watched them when I shouldn't have. I was really young when I watched these films. Because I had older
Yeah.
brother, and then they had older brothers and sisters, so I'd
Right.
be around and we'd be all watching them when like I shouldn't be. And yeah, Freddy was scary, man. Like that was the one that terrified me. And like I still have a vivid memory of a dream I had when I was really little that felt real, where he was chasing me and my older brother. We were kids in a bedroom, and like we're jumping from bed to bed, like trying to get away from running around the room. And like my brother was in front of me, I was behind him, and when he would swipe, like I would feel the blades like hitting my back. Like I felt the pain, even though it was a dream. And it was scary. And like in the middle of the room is like the door that like, so the light was off, but the only room that was shining in it was coming from the hallway. So it's like, I don't know. And as I'm saying this, I picture that memory. It's like that's one of the dreams I could still vividly remember, and it scared the hell out of me because I was feeling his blades on my back.
Yeah, I wonder how many nightmares this film, I mean, collectively over the past
Mhm.
couple decades since it's been out, how many people actually would have had nightmares because of
Yeah.
this franchise?
It's like the only time you get scared, like let's say Jason, it's gonna be when you go camping and it's late. You're, oh, Jason. But are you really afraid of him when you're at home?
Yeah.
But Freddy, doesn't matter where you're at. Like, so I feel like there was more fear with Freddy,
Yeah.
knowing that he could, I could be asleep in, at Walt Disney World Hotel or at my
Yeah.
house. Doesn't matter where I'm at, he could come after me. And yeah, you're right. Like there's probably been a lot of people who've had nightmares on Freddy.
Yeah, dude, I'm thinking right now. I mean, their concept of, I mean, following the Jason Voorhees thing, at the
Yeah.
end of no, at the end of it was a ninth film in the series, and that was Jason Goes to Hell. They have
Yes, yes.
they have this quick cameo of Freddy Krueger's hand with the fingernail blades coming out and grabbing the mask. And I think it wasn't until like 15, 16 years later or something along the lines of that. And they finally came out with Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, I remember, dude. Like one, Freddy Goes to Hell. I mean, no, Jason Goes to Hell. It wasn't a movie for fucking kids. Like but I really wanted to go see that movie, and they wouldn't let me and my buddy
Mhm.
in. And then that's when like freaking we got all bummed out. So we came home and we're like, my mom's like, oh, what happened? And like, yeah, they said we couldn't go in the movie because it's a horror movie. I'm like, oh, like, well, you know what? Well, I'll take you this Saturday. We're like, oh, okay. And then my buddy's older sister said, I'll take you guys. So I'm like, oh, mom, she's gonna take us. Okay,
Yeah.
go. And we go inside, and dude, there's like full on like sex scenes and stuff, and we're like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I believe I may have been in junior high
Uh-huh.
like sixth grade, and I'm just like, oh, what the hell? I'm like, I'm glad like my mom did not bring us to take this movie. And yeah, I remember right at the end, like the whole audience cheered because you saw the hand, and that was supposed to then lead to it. But yeah, with development hell and all so on and so forth, it took them years to finally have that movie. It just sucks we never got like a continuation of that, like a sequel.
Do you think we should continue that, or Hollywood should go for that, or do you think that just both of the franchises are
I it
done?
Well, Jason, you could go on forever, like because Jason, you never see the face, and when you do, it could be prosthetics.
Yeah.
It's Robert England that's the issue because
Yeah.
he's really old now. So when he played Freddy, they got him. So it's like, what do you remember when this movie was? It was like early 2000s, right? I
Yeah.
just know it was in 2000s because beyond what's it call it? Destiny's Child already broke up because what's her name? Kelly Rowland was one of them that was after was Freddy or Jason, whatever. But that's how you could pull it off. Now, you can't, like, unless somehow they do like a whole like CGI or something. Because if you've seen the new Halloween movie,
Mhm.
what was it, Donald Plants? I probably pronounced his last name wrong. It was prosthetics. I thought they were using CG or original footage. Like, no, it was a guy that looked like him, added some prosthetics, and you're like, holy crap, that's like Dr. Loomis. Like, how they pull that shit off?
Wait, hold on. So, and so this is you're talking about the Halloween Kills, the
Yeah.
newest one come out.
You
So
seen it, right?
I have not. No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's not spoiler, all right,
No,
because
no.
it's part of the story.
Okay.
But Dr. Loomis from like the whole series of like, you know, Halloween, where that guy comes out in the movie, and I'm thinking like, wow, like these look good. This doesn't look like Rogue One and like the how they do like the fucking faces to like the digital ad whatever.
Yeah.
Like, no, that fucking looks like him. I'm like, it has to be like some old footage they didn't use or something. Like, I don't know how they did this. But then I saw the guy that does the special effects. He's like, no, we got an actor that almost looked like him, added some prosthetics, and boom. So we used an actual person. I was like, man, that looks really good. So because Freddy has all the stuff, maybe they could pull off the same thing. Find someone that looks similar to Robert Englund and then do that. Because I know there was supposed to be Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, but that didn't go through either. So it's supposed to be like Ash Williams from the Evil Dead series. They're gonna do that, but it never fell through.
Yeah, I heard something like that was gonna happen too.
Yeah.
So
that would have been cool. But now, if it's not Freddy, it's like that new movie. They had the guy from Watchmen. He played Rorschach. I forget his name. He played Freddy, but it's like it just I didn't like his look. Like, they didn't even give him a nose. Like,
I was gonna ask you what you thought of the remake.
Yeah. My main issue was the visual effects.
Gotcha.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. They did practical. Why would you do where the girl's sleeping and he goes through the wall? Dude, that was so simple back when, and they're like, no, we're gonna make it CG. Why? They didn't use I don't know.
Yeah.
That was my issue. And then, you know, the movie was okay. It was I saw it once, but
yeah.
I mean, also too, Jackie Earl Haley, I think that's his name. It's just they gave him like a weird nose or something that, like, because they said like, well, if your face catches on, you burn alive, you're not gonna have your nose. So it looked like he had like a weird cat face or something. I don't know. I didn't like that. Like, they should have just let him look like
Dude.
the original Jason. Freddy.
Yeah, he walking away from that film, I was like, his face looks like a fish, just a little bit.
Yeah, like a catfish.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it wasn't Freddy Krueger. It was Fishy Krueger. I thought. But yeah, I mean, the like you said, the story, and then plus the stature of this guy. I mean, he looks a little bit, shorter than Robert Englund, and I think Robert Englund just has a distinctive profile on him. Just his physical physique, and plus his facial features are just. I mean, when you consider those details, like they matter. They matter even if you have all this makeup or if you're adding CGI or costume and stuff. It takes you have to take that into consideration, like the physique and profile of an actor when you do a remake.
Exactly. That's why, like, Robert Englund, he was perfect for the role. Like, I mean, he I don't know how tall he is, but in those films he seemed tall.
Skinny, he looked tall, right? Yeah.
And he had the voice, like something about, like, I feel like he wasn't really even doing much of a voice, but it sounded good, like scary. And I mean, if you look at the later films, it's very fun, and like he like starts saying like these jokes, where the first like film, it was just scary. Like, I mean, he wouldn't really talk much. He would be hitting, and like they made daytime scary. Like, that's the one thing about the first film, where you always feel safe during the day, but even there, the light didn't feel like it was a safe space, because like the school, when she's walking around and she sees the body, it's daytime, but yet it was still scary. Like, yeah, like, I don't know, Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street is like such a great iconic film, and a lot of the other ones are kind of good, like at their own level. one more than another, but like majority of them are actually better than the Jason. I would say, like, if I had to choose a franchise,
Yeah.
Nightmare is much better than the Jason movies, honestly.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel they put more effort into the storyline and trying to create this mythos because they like aside from the main plot line with the kids are dying, like they would do stuff like in the for instance the third one, the Dream Warriors, right?
That one was
Like there's
cool.
this other character who's learning about Freddy, his mom, but then they switch over to the other plot, where it's like the kids and they're having trouble sleeping, then they're getting killed. So like they're building all this war with Jason. Like,
Yeah.
do you remember really? It's like all you know he's afraid of water, and he was a kid. Like they established that in the first film. Now
Yeah.
he just kills. There's nothing more to build on. Freddy, dude, they kept trying to, Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare. That's the one where you see him getting murdered by the he was being killed by the parents, the outraged parents, but that's when you see the weird demon
Oh.
things talking to him.
Which one
Like
was
because
that?
I think it was Freddy's Dead, the final
Okay.
nightmare, because it was in 3D.
I gotta count.
So
Oh yeah, that was a 3D one. Okay.
yeah, so when he's like right there, there's like these weird floating
Yeah.
things, and they're like, make this deal, we'll make you eternal, blah blah blah, and so on
Yeah.
and so forth. So
They had
you know,
every film in the 80s had to be 3D.
yeah, and then like he was like it shows that a girl who's like now grown up, but she's having flashbacks that her father was Freddy, and like so that's why they tried to build this whole story behind Freddy, and that's why I feel that franchise, though, like I said, some of the movies are weaker than others. I still feel are better as a whole than the Jason franchise.
No, yeah. I mean, dude, you broke it down to where I was just like, now I'm contemplating why I didn't go further. Well, I still have a chance, but yeah, gives me more of a little bit of an excitement to jump into Freddy.
Yeah. And then who's worse? If you think about it, Jason is a victim because he was a kid, and now it's just out of this vengeance because of his mother, who was actually seeking vengeance for her son.
Yeah.
Now he's in place for her because my mom got killed. So he's going out to be like, these kids are bad. They're having sex because of you. You got me killed.
Yeah.
Where with Freddy, this guy is he's like the worst of the worst. So if you think about Jason's better, that's why Jason won at the end. But I mean, because Freddy is like fucking a terrible person, so he deserves to be the villain. But that's what makes him scarier.
Yeah,
because like this guy,
he used to murder and rape children. So
exactly,
yeah, when
right,
he was
that's
human.
where the glove came from, and that's how he killed them, with that glove. So knowing that glove that he carries around murdered a bunch of kids,
yeah,
like that's crazy. Like that's evil.
Yeah, I think there's something going on with Jason and his asexual practices to where he has to kill all the horny teenagers at Camp Crystal Lake.
He's like the Morrissey of horror films. He doesn't have sex. He just goes and kills.
Yeah, in Jason 10, in space, when they put Jason in space, Jason X.
Yeah.
It's right when the crew are about to get it on, and that like wakes him up. I feel like he has just some like cognitive sexual radar or sexual hormonal radar that wakes him up from his slumber. And just the fact, I would like to see Freddy Krueger in space. That would be cool.
Oh yeah, hey, we got Leprechaun in space, Critters in space.
Yeah,
why not Freddy? Freddy's the only one that didn't go to space.
Yep, Freddy, and then maybe Charles Lee Ray, Chucky, put him in space as well. That would be cool.
we need a battle royale film with all of them. That would have been badass. You got fucking Pinhead, Michael Myers, Jason. Like if they all fought in an all in all battle, who do you think would win? I know Chucky would probably be the one to go quick, but I don't know. Who do you think would win if they had all their powers?
If they had all their powers in space?
No,
I'm
not well. Yeah, I mean, they
yeah.
could battle wherever, but
Oh, battle.
I'm just
Okay.
saying, like
Oh,
a full on, Smash Brothers, but
uh-huh.
with the horror characters. Who do you think
Ah.
would win? Like that's when it's like, I feel Pinhead
Mhm.
and Freddy are probably at the higher, but then look at how strong Jason and like Myers are, where like
Myers, yeah.
nothing takes them down, even though Myers is like a guy. Like
Mhm.
nothing kills the guy, like nothing takes him down, and Fred, but they could just throw water on Jason and he's out.
Yeah,
So fucking
he's scared of a element that covers 80% of the world. So he's out.
yeah,
Jason is
he's like
out.
the aliens from Signs.
Yeah, right.
You just throw a cup on him. Ah!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get him out right away. Chucky, but Chucky doesn't regenerate.
Mm-mm.
So if he gets killed or ran over or anything, so he's out. I mean, he's out right away.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think he's the first one to go.
Yeah,
You know?
Jason can just chop him in half or chop his head off real quick. I don't know too much of Pinhead to rank him along with the others
Yeah,
that I
I
just
mean, he's
mentioned.
basically like getting these like his powers. Like he's like a demon, from like a weird, like crazy, sadistic version of hell.
Oh, okay.
And so he like can get all these fucking chains that come out and rip you apart. So that's why I think he has like a better like what's that thing where you're like at another tier when it comes to everybody. I can't think of the word,
Mhm.
but he has the upper hand. He basically
Gotcha.
has an upper hand. Um, and then Freddy too. If he has his powers, like what he could do in dreams, where he could do anything, he's at the same level. So I feel the ultimate battle would be, because Freddy, the only reason he lost is because he got brought to like the real world with Jason. So it was a real guy at this point fighting Jason. But if he were in his realm or had his powers at any point, he could win because he could make himself whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
And then with Pinhead, he uses like these powers of chains, because you said Pinhead is the one where you didn't really have
Yeah,
much
I don't.
knowledge.
I've never watched a lick of any of those.
Oh, you've
films.
never seen any of the Hellraisers?
No. So I don't.
Yeah,
I mean, I recognize him, and I know, just from different pictures and stuff like that. But
yeah,
as far as his backstory, I have no knowledge of.
yeah. It's weird. It's so like fucking comes from this place where there's like a labyrinth with like this fucking weird
Wait, the labyrinth.
diamond.
The labyrinth isn't what's his name, right?
No, not the David Bowie.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not Magic Dance where fucking they're all dancing with a bunch of goblins and shit. That'd be funny though. Fucking Pinhead dance, Magic Dance.
Right.
But no, there's like where he comes from is like this weird, like this place where there's this massive labyrinth, and there's this like weird diamond cube in the middle of Leviathan. I think that's what it's called, in the middle. Like, I don't know, it's so weird because like I've been watching video, like there's comics on Hellraiser, and I've been watching videos about different characters and their backstories and all this, and just learning about more about, and I'm like, holy cow, like there's a big backstory of like Pinhead, and I like it's just weird. Like I wish I knew it more
Yeah.
about, because I don't want to just talk out of my ass and someone's gonna leave a comment like, that fucker don't know what he's talking about. Like, fuck, So that's why I don't want to say more, but I
Yeah.
mean, research it.
No, that
It's
happens.
crazy.
Yeah, that happens regardless. Even if you're right, people will still have something to say.
Right? That's what's gonna
So-
happen. Like, fuck this guy, Jason will kick ass. Hey, he's better. I don't know why they sound like cholos, but they're like, hey dog, hey, fucking Freddy, hey, he's the best one.
Now, have you checked out Chucky's the series on
No, I don't have sci-fi.
No, okay.
I don't do any cable anymore. Is it on streaming anywhere?
I use YouTube TV. So I don't have cable. Like I use YouTube TV because I watch that shit like everywhere that I go.
Is that a part of premium? Because I have YouTube Premium.
I would probably look into it. Maybe you get it at like a different different rate probably, because I don't have premium, which I'm considering because I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and these ads are a pain in the ass, dude. Pain in the
Right?
ass. I watched
Fuck,
like a
dude.
5-minute video, and there's like 10 ads, like right before
Mhm.
the guy on the YouTube video or whatever, he will say a certain topic and go over for like a minute, and then boom, an ad for erectile
Yeah.
dysfunction medication. It's like, dude, you're not even getting your marketing right, because obviously I'm looking, or my search history is pointing to that, but you need to change your algorithm. I wouldn't mind ads, but if they're all about ED, come on, dude. Come on.
Right?
Respect me a little bit. I'm on your platform, please. But maybe they're just pushing me to get
And
YouTube
they want
Premium.
you to have fun. YouTube wants you to have fun, man.
Yeah, right. And they're pushing for me to have YouTube Premium. But yeah, I don't. Those ads are gonna be the death of me.
Yeah.
Yes,
So you've seen it? The Chucky show?
the series, I watched the first episode. That's where I kind of stopped, and it was pretty cool. Like uh what's his name? The voice of Chucky, Jeff. No, Brad Dourif.
Yeah.
He's he's doing the voice. He's done the voice of Chucky, out of all the films, right? I mean, somebody
Yeah.
can correct
Minus
me.
that buddy movie, the fucking that wasn't
Oh
really
yeah,
Chucky,
no, no,
dude.
no, no, no,
Yeah.
absolutely not. I still went to go watch that one, but it was I don't know. It wasn't for me. Maybe it was for somebody else. But this series was pretty cool. It's about a kid that is like, at first he's has this doll, uh this doll sculpture that he's building. He
Yeah.
finds the Chucky doll at a yard sale. He pays like really cheap for it. Um and then all along, like, it builds this tension of he's gonna come alive, the kid's gonna notice. And it was pretty cool because Chucky has his first kill at the end of the movie, and I'm just like, holy shit! They killed off like a main character in, well, he wasn't a main. Yeah, pretty much he was a main character in the first episode, in the pilot that I watched, and I'm
Mm.
like, fuck, that was pretty cool. Another kind of filter that kind of ties into what you and I are doing. There's this kid in this Chucky's owner's uh classroom, and he's like a podcaster. He does like a true crime podcast, and he's like a teenager that talks about New Jersey and all these true crimes. So of course, I'm thinking that, throughout the whole series, he's gonna start doing the murders of Charles Lee Ray
Yeah.
along the way. So that's gonna be pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. I want to, like I said, I want to check it out because it just seemed fun. And you know, freaking they bring back Andy, the kid, the guy who plays Andy, the actual actor. Like
Yeah,
they bring him back, and then what's her name? Tiffany, but it's Jennifer Tilly, but her
yeah,
character, like, I guess she's coming back too because she's been promoting like crazy and stuff like that. So
yeah.
it's cool. And they, again, Brad Dorff, like he's doing the original voice, like,
Hmm.
fucking. So yeah, and I've been, all I've heard was good things. So
Hmm.
people are digging it. So that thing, what was it, from 2 years ago, like that. I mean, it wasn't
That
child's
was
play, like,
bullshit.
yeah, because it was a buddy doll, right? And
It-
as
I'm.
much as I love Mark Hamill,
Mhm.
like he just sounded like the Joker. That was it, being Chucky.
Yeah, I think, I mean, sticking to voices, Chucky, I mean, Brad Dourif, you can't go away from Brad Dourif's voice.
Mhm.
And we talked about Freddy too. I mean, Robert England has a distinctive voice when it comes to Freddy.
Yeah,
Michael Myers, Jason, I think just the stature and the physical appearance of the person or actor overall really
yeah,
plays into part. Like Kane Hodder plays Jason in, I think, what, 4, 5, and 6, I believe, and the Jason X So I mean, his stature pretty much stays the same, throughout those films. He actually made a comment about because he didn't play Jason in Jason versus Freddy. He made a comment saying that, well, I guess they asked him what he thought about the film,
Yeah.
and like he his answer was, well, I guess they want Jason to look like a skinny little bitch in the film. So
Yeah, he's like, well, fuck, dude.
yeah, right.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, fuck. I mean, I'd be mad, dude. If you think about it, he was mad. He's like, what the fuck? Like, you guys ain't gonna use me?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
even his look, and I thought his look in Freddy vs. Jason was pretty legit.
yeah,
Honestly. Yeah.
yeah. Like, real quick, what do you think as a Brad Dourif as if he was in the 1989 Batman as the Joker? Think he
Mm.
would have pulled it off?
I don't know because I think this is the 89, right? With
Yeah, Tim Burton.
Jack Nicholson.
Mhm.
If he replaced Jack Nicholson, I
No,
think
well, see, the reason why I bring this
mhm.
up is because that was Burton's first choice to play the Joker, but
Oh.
obviously Warner Brothers is like, nah, we want more star power. Let's get someone else.
Oh, okay.
But that's who Burton wanted, and WB shot him down. Because I
Really?
know it was like maybe like it was like a I don't know how many years ago they did an interview about this. Like I learned about this a few years back, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And yeah, it was that's what it was. It was his first choice, but and then obviously they got Nicholson. But if you think about it, we probably wouldn't have like a Chucky if he ended up being the Joker, because then he would have been too busy, and plus his star power would have probably went like that since the movie was a massive
Mm.
hit. But who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
I don't know if I can imagine him like that. Yeah,
yeah,
I think totally the Joker would have been a very different Joker uh watching the movie.
but one he would have been. He would have looked it like the
Yeah.
skinny and tall,
Yeah.
had the smile, the mannerisms, like because if you see him the way he was in like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, like
Mhm.
I'm like just like yeah man, like this guy would have fucking been a good Joker. Like I know,
Wait,
uh
hold on, hold on. Brad Dourif was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Which one was
yeah,
he?
he's the guy that like he ends up hooking up with like a prostitute when they all
Oh,
sneak
yeah,
in,
that's right. That's him.
and then he
Okay,
kills
yes.
himself. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Brad.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Really? Oh shoot, that's right. That's right. Uh and there's a lot of random actors in that. Like Danny DeVito was in there.
yeah. Danny
That
DeVito, Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd. Yes. Yeah. Ken Kesey is awesome. Have you read the book? The book to
No,
the book versus the actual movie. I mean, night and day difference. But I love the backstory of Ken Kesey and how he wanted to write a book about the psychiatric ward.
yeah,
Um, yeah, about him being in like the MK Ultra experiments at that facility that he was like a college student and he was writing at the time, and they were giving him LSD, making him part of the MK Ultra project in the psychiatric ward, and then gave him the material to actually write that book.
hmm. Yeah. No, I remember read the book, and honestly, like maybe it was like 4 years ago, maybe or so. That was the first time I had seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It was probably like 2018.
Yeah.
But yeah, like my wife was like, "How have you never seen that movie?" I'm like, "I don't know. There's a bunch of movies that I missed growing up. Like I was more into the fun adventure of the 80s and action. That was just one that I never interested me to watch." And so we ended up watching. I was like, "Dude, this movie was fucking good." And then that's when like I was watching Brad Dourif and being like,
Hmm.
"Damn, like this guy would have fucking been a good Joker." It's like, yeah, of course we got Nicholson, but fucking Warner Brothers, dude, they
Yeah.
told him, nope. I'm like, he's like, come on, man, this guy's gonna be good. Nah, get out of here. Like, fucking, we need star power, Nicholson. So they,
No, but great choice because, like you said, without without Brad Dourif. I mean, if Brad Dourif became the Joker, we wouldn't have the Chucky that we know today.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he would have his star power would have been at a different, even though it was filmed the year before, like
Mhm.
88, but like well, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know, cuz like Child's Play says 1988,
Mhm.
Batman was 89, but who knows when they started
89.
filming either or,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So who knows? I mean, but it, like, let's just say he would have gotten big, he probably would have been like, let's do Child's Play 2, and he would have been like, nah, I'm doing Batman Returns
Yeah.
or something. Like, who they would have killed him off. They
Yeah.
fucking, back when they always killed the God, that made me mad, dude. Why do they always kill the fucking villains in all those films, dude? Like, Arkham. Put him in Arkham. Don't fucking kill him.
Yeah, yeah. Leave them there. Okay, so since we're on the subject of different actors playing different characters, what do you think? And of course, you gotta know this one coming from 88 miles per hour. What do you think about Eric Stoltz being a Marty McFly?
Well, fine. All right. So that thing, like, as I wish
I
they would
cried.
let us
I fucking
see.
cried. I did not know. I when I first heard that, I was like, no effing way that this was gonna happen. No effing way.
Wait, what do you mean you cried? Like, in a happy, like, I'm glad they got rid of him, or I'm like, man, that's fucked up. They got rid of him.
A little bit of both, because now I can't get it out of my head, because now when I watch that movie, I just immediately picture Eric Stoltz playing Marty McFly rather than Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Like Michael J. Fox, he's gonna be the hands down one of my favorite actors, in films. But I mean, so is Eric Stoltz too. Like him in Mask, his portrayal of Rocky in that
Yeah.
movie with Cher. I mean, it was just great. This kid was a great actor. And I
Hmm.
think that's what kind of killed it. Not killed it, but Marty would have been a total different character, total different movie.
It wouldn't have been as fun though. That's the thing. That's the
Yeah,
reason why they got rid of him
yeah,
after that, what, week or whatever
yeah,
they were filming, because it was like, dude, like, this is too intense. Like, this guy's a good actor, but where's like the levity? Like, this guy's not
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
like, having fun with it. Like, you know, like, that's why we've just seen little clips that they've
Hmm.
released. I wish they would allow us to see more footage so that we could do like a compare and contrast and
That would
be
be
like, all
cool.
right, here's this scene and here's this scene. But like,
Hmm.
where else? Like, I want to see the actual dialogue, how he was talking to them. But it's like,
Yeah,
I know he stuck out like a sore thumb, and I'm glad, because it's like Michael J
yeah,
was the perfect character, like the actor to play, and the way he plays it,
yeah.
the voices and shit, like the way he talks, like, he's like, you mean to tell me, my mom got the hots or whatever. He's like, hey doc, like, like
Yeah,
the whole thing, it's iconic. Where
yeah,
with Eric Stoltz, I
yeah,
don't know, he just, like, from the stuff that they've allowed for us to see, he just does it all serious, like,
yeah.
I'm really trapped in this land, like, this is so alien. Where Marty, he's like, let me get a Pepsi free, he's like,
Yeah.
you
Like,
want a Pepsi, you got to pay for it.
yeah. Yeah, Eric Stoltz, yeah, he brought a very weird kind of like a downish, if you will. I mean, I don't want to say more along the line of like depressing, but he was kind of like sad because he was thrown in the future
Exactly.
as like Marty, and like you said, like he was just going with it. He was like, oh shit, like I'm in the future. I mean, let me go see my parents. Let me go see my dad.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, and we wouldn't have that. You mean to tell me, you built a time machine out of a DeLorean? Like, that whole, how would he would have done it all serious. Like, it's like, wait, so you're telling me
Yeah.
that? It's like, get out of here. Nah.
Yeah. It would have been more of like a drama science fiction
Yeah.
type of movie. Uh
Speaking of Back to the Future, just the other day, right here at the Twin Pines Mall, well, the Puente Hills Mall,
yeah.
October 25th, going into AM, because that's when Marty shows up at, what was it, 1:15 AM or some shit
Yeah.
like that. Bunch of DeLoreans were parked there. So I have a friend
Oh.
that's like huge involved with like the world of Back to the Future. Has a group called the Citizens of Back to the Future and shit. I've had him on the show.
Oh, nice.
He like he was posting about it. I was like, fuck, I totally forgot about that. I mean, it's kind of hard when you got little kids to
Yeah.
just get up and fucking go out, you know. But
Right.
yeah, they were all there, October 26th, you know, fucking all just took a massive picture in front right there where the DeLorean, you know, and people brought their DeLoreans. That was pretty cool. You
I
know,
didn't even know they still had those. People even drove those. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, dude,
They have
they
car
still
clubs of
exist.
these things. That's cool.
Yeah, well, not car clubs, but people just own them. But
Oh,
like
okay.
they have clubs of being in Back to the Future. But if you
Oh,
have a car, a DeLorean, like you're fucking worshipped, bro. Like they bring you along and they're like, oh, come bring your car and this and that. Like, but they've just gotten because of the more nostalgia, the prices have gotten really high for more cars, and there's people that rebuild them. We had a guy. There was this show that was fucking I forget what it was called. God damn it, we had the guy on the show, but the it was a Discovery show, and they did like a whole thing of Back to the Future, and it was like trying to find a DeLorean. So they're trying to find an original DeLorean to put it up for auction for Michael J. Fox's foundation, and we had the guy, the creator slash producer of that special, come
oh,
on the show. So he was telling us that like, yeah, like fucking we were trying to get certain DeLoreans like for the show and blah blah blah, and like now it's just expensive because it's like with the nostalgia effect, like the cars have gone up where like you could have easily gotten a car for under 10,000 at one point. You know, you like try to rebuild now, fucking they're up to the 50, 60, you know, 70,000 range just because people know, hey, people want these cars. They're very rare. I'm gonna raise the price, you know. So it's yeah, people fucking still love them. And they probably do have a car clubs, but it's like a whole thing because it's like a giant movie prop that you
yeah.
could be in and drive.
How fond would you be if somebody tried to remake Back to the Future?
Fuck, dude, that'd be tough. Like, I mean, like honestly, I would be curious because I'd be like, I want to see what they did with this,
Yeah.
but I let it be. Like, I'm gonna be 40, so when I'm in my 60s and up, I'll be fine with it then, you know. Like, but right now, like knowing like they're replacing, especially Michael J. Fox and
Yeah.
you know Christopher Lloyd, like, dude, like, and where would they base it? So that means because back when it's like it was 85 and he went
Mhm.
back, you know, fucking to the 60s, like, you know, 50s. I'm sorry, like late. How would we do it now? Like, is it right now and then they go back to what the 90s and shit? Because it's a 30-year gap, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. What would the car be? Fucking a Mini Cooper? I don't know.
A
Fucking
Mini Cooper or maybe a Prius.
yeah, dude, that's what it's gonna be. A
Yeah.
fucking
An
'cause
electric car. Yeah.
the car is the thing that's really stands out from this. So if you were to remake it, that I feel no matter the casting, whoever you get, any of that, I think really what would make and break this film is the car that you would use. And how
Okay.
the DeLorean is iconic. There's like no way that you could replace that. You could easily recast Christopher Lloyd, Marty McFly, Leah Thompson, you know, all of them. But fucking could you recast the car to something else? Because there is no DeLoreans. Like, is it just gonna be like, oh, let's go get a DeLorean? Like, doesn't make sense. Like, they would have to get something that the doc would get. Be like, oh, I'm gonna make a time machine out of this because it's like, if I'm gonna make a DeLorean, I mean a time machine out of a car, why not do it with style? And that's
Yeah.
what it was. It fucking he did the he ended up choosing a DeLorean. I know the quote's not exact, but
Yeah.
you know, because someone's gonna fucking, hey, this dick, they don't know
Hey.
that you get out of here. You know, fucking again the Cholo. Hey,
Again,
the
yeah,
Cholo.
the Cholo.
The Cholo troll. That's what they didn't call him. You know, fucking Back to the Future with Marty McFly. Get out of here.
The Trollo.
Yeah, oh, I'm stealing that, bro. The Trollo.
The Trollo.
Oh yeah,
You heard it first here.
dude, genius. I'm gonna use that. The Trollo. I
The
gotta make a
Trollo.
skit out of that. A video. I don't like your podcast, dog. Hey, it's fucking terrible. And then boom, then then it just built from there. There are all these skits with the Trollo.
Yes. That's what I was gonna say, and it's gonna be its own character that just trolls
Exactly.
on podcasts, especially maybe movie podcasts, or he's just a troll in general.
Exactly. Yeah, that Back to the Future quote, dog, it was wrong, eh? That fucking wasn't right. This is how it goes, you know. Doc Brown for life.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and that's what it is, man. Cholo.
Hey, so have you I haven't really I went through your list and you guys have so much movies that you guys covered, and not just movies. You've covered you know, other stuff, like other like TV shows, right?
Yeah.
Um have you covered The Fly?
Uh Maybe like in one of the past seasons, bro.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I not with Freddy. I know for a fact not with
Okay.
Freddy, but like I said, if for those listening and for yourself, if we did do The Fly, it's
Mhm.
gonna be a completely different show because it started off with again me and one of my co-hosts, former
Mhm.
co-host named Renata, and then it jumped to myself, Renata, and then someone I brought in named Max, and then Renata left, and it was me and Max for a bit, and then it was me, Max, and then someone else that came in named Chelsea, and then
Mhm.
afterwards I left for a while, and then it was hosted by Max, Chelsea, and fucking Chris, and then they left. I got the show back, and then now it's just me and Freddie. So like
Gotcha.
that's why. So if you listen
So
to
it's probably going to be different than you know,
yeah, it's that's why I always
subsequent.
tell people to start with what is it, season 5, I
Mhm.
believe. Fucking if you start there, um you'll get a real like idea of what 88 is. So from there, from like season 5, basically the 100 episodes up, like 101
Oh,
and
okay.
forward, like all of those are fucking, you know, what truly 88 is now.
Oh,
You could
okay.
go back and listen to the other ones. They are entertaining, but they're just a completely, you know, different show. So,
Different
you
dynamics,
know,
different people. Yeah,
exactly.
I got you. The reason why I bring that up is because of Jeff Goldblum. Uh, he's another person that I can potentially be, especially with this wig. I can
Yeah.
be porn star Jeff Goldblum from The Fly.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
He did have like a Jerry Curl style haircut
He
back
did
when.
in that film. He did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, fucking
yeah. He was
dude.
good looking guy. But what were you gonna say?
Oh, well, Jeff Goldblum, he redid like I mean, he like that Jurassic Park where he's laying down. He did it like recently, the photo, fucking recreated it.
Did
There
he
you go.
really?
And dude, he fucking how does someone get much better looking? That he seriously looks better. I was like, God damn, like all the ladies are like, ooh, they when I posted that shit, like fuck the
Yeah.
ladies were in love. I'm like, God damn, that's what I said in the post. I'm like, how does one get more attractive as time goes on? Like his picture looks better, but fucking yeah, dude, I forgot that guy had a Jerry curl for the Fly.
Jerry
I'm gonna look at
Curl. We got Rick James, Jerry Curls. We got uh I don't know, every other Theo's with Jerry Curls. The
yeah.
Cholo may or may not have Jerry Curls. We don't know.
It
But
was a Jerry curl mullet, dude,
yeah.
because it was kind of long in the back. It's very much like Bono and Mel Gibson of the 80s, like when they all had like that hair, but it was actually a mullet.
Yes, that's what it was.
You don't have a mullet, right?
No, 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 not today.
Nah,
Not
that's
today.
funny,
Maybe
dude.
maybe next week. I mean,
Right?
who knows? But fun fact about Charlie Brown, he actually does have hair. I it's a fun fact. He does have hair. The creator of the Peanuts, states that he does have hair. It's just really short and light uh, that you can't see it, and people think he's
Oh,
bald.
okay. So he basically has like a number one, like
There you
it's
go.
shaved
Yeah.
out to a one, right?
Why can't just the guy say that he has a number one? I mean,
There you
I would
go.
have got it.
I mean, even technically, this is supposed to be like hair
Yeah.
right here. So I mean,
Yeah.
he's not 100% bald. And then, oh yeah, the side view, because he has the curl
Hmm.
when you look from the side, and he has hair in the back, like kind of sticking up. So he's not 100%. Like yeah, he's not bald. He's just, there you go, dude. That's why Cholo Brown, this guy likes shaving his head. He's a cholo, you know. Oh man.
Yeah, he brings it up well. Uh brings it up really well. Santos.
Yeah.
This was cool, man.
Yeah, man. No, thank you for inviting me. Fucking talking Freddy Krueger and shit. Dude, that was
No,
bad.
no. We talked about a lot of things on this. Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Chucky, Halloween stuff. I was a girl
And
during Halloween.
Trollo?
And Trollo. You heard it first.
Hell yeah, dude. That's my favorite right there. Trollo.
Hashtag Trollo, man.
Oh man.
You're gonna see that on Foo's Gone Wild, dude. Or
Yeah,
that we're gonna tell them that's all the haters. The haters turn Trollo.
Yeah. Because they exist, dude. There is a bunch of cholos talking shit out there. So that's what they are, dude. They're the trollos, man.
Santos, go ahead and tell us about all your links for your podcast and all that good stuff.
All right, so you could check out 88 Miles Per Hour podcast with me and Freddie Morales. Like I said, we revisit, talk about movies, not just in the 80s. It's anything where you travel back in time, you can watch. So we're on Instagram at 88 MPH podcast. We're also on Twitter at 88 MPH pod. But if you go to our main page, you could click the link in our profile. It'll take you to all our links. I also do another podcast with my brother. It's called the BrotherBear Podcast, and that one it's a reboot from an old show that we used to do, and we talk entertainment news, but we also just go back and forth and talk about the same memories growing up. So check us out there. That one is the BrotherBear it's actually just BrotherBear Podcast. But yeah, in our profile links, I have all the links for everything. Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. You could go to the page BrotherBearNetwork.com. You'll see some more of other shows that we've done on the BrotherBear Network. Yeah, so that's basically it. But most of my stuff that I do is on Instagram on the 88 page. Just having a good time, having fun, man.
Cocaine is one hell of a drug. And of course, everybody, I'm going to put all the links that Santos just talked about in the show notes, all that good stuff. It's going to be good there. Definitely go check them out. And I haven't looked back. Go subscribe to them on Apple. Go follow them on Spotify. Both your podcast, right? So I didn't realize that you had a second one.
Yeah, the BrotherBear Podcast. We restarted, so we're at episode 18. But we originally we started in 2012.
Oh,
we went on and
really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
2012, and we ended in 2016. And yeah, we actually used to do that one live in studio. Had everything going on, and then afterwards, there's like a whole story behind it. I actually have the story labeled out on BrotherBearNetwork.com. The whole story of what happened to us because the studio fired us because they wanted more money.
What?
We got popular. Well, yeah, like have you ever seen the cosplay as Star Wars? Like where it's like a bunch of Cholo Star Wars characters?
No.
You've never seen that shit?
No.
Oh, shit.
Nah.
Well, anyway, so in 2015, me and my wife, we did a cosplay where she was Princess Loca. My son was Arturito. He had like a little sarapa and a sombrero. And it blew up online like fucking crazy. And then later on, the following month, we went to another convention, and this time we brought along my brother who did Darth Vato. We had Loco Skywalker, all this and that, and we blew up more. So obviously this studio is like, oh, these guys are fucking like famous, like no, we weren't. Our pictures passed around, so they started asking us to pay more to be in their studio, where we're like, shouldn't you guys try to get fucking sponsors and have them come on? Why making us pay? Like, what the fuck? You think we're rich now, like, and we're gonna give you money? It's like you should be trying to take advantage and like go out there and be like, hey, we have sponsors, because we would hit 8,000 or more live views every fucking Monday night.
Whoa.
And these guys just fucking like just got rid of us, and we're like, all right, and now it's in. And it was earlier this year. Me and my brother got together and said, like, let's you know what, let's bring the show back. And yeah, in 2016 it ended, and we decided. But the reason, like, you can't find all the old episodes. We got rid of them because our former co-host got very during the time of Black Lives Matter and Trump and all that. He went fucking way far right that just
Whoa.
clashed with our views.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, there's no way I could send someone to go listen to our old shows, and knowing that the type of person that is our co-host, we're like, nah, we got rid of all that shit and we restarted, hence the reboot. And yeah, so episode 18, it's just a funny me and my brother just laughing, having a good time, bringing up, entertainment related stuff,
Yeah.
stories and all that. I mean, just listen to the first episode and you guys will enjoy. I mean, I think it's one of the funniest episodes, just episode 1, where we're talking about Jurassic World and how it made my brother cry. And it's just, yeah, it's just fucking, it's good times, So
Yeah. Okay.
but 88 miles per hour podcast. And Freddy, he apologized that he couldn't be here. He's doing this whole thing where he's part of a tribute band for Depeche Mode, but he's gonna start another project. So he's just been busy. That's why we haven't really recorded much.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so again, thanks for having me on, man. And I truly appreciate it. For being a guest on the show.
Yeah. One more question. Okay. What do you think of, since you've been podcasting for, very long time, 2012, right?
Yeah.
How do you, what do you think about when you first started versus now? Like, as far as the highly concentrated and saturated marketplace that podcasting is.
So when we first started, yeah, there was people doing their podcasts and shit, but it wasn't like where now you could fucking, like, right now you could call up like 10 people and 8 of them would be like, oh yeah, I got a podcast, fucking back when you didn't really know anyone that had a podcast, right? The main people were like, oh, the Kevin Smiths and the fucking like Mark Marons and all of that, all these like celebrities, the comedians, those were the ones that were having the podcast. So then it was just easy to be like, hey, check out my show. Like, oh, what is this? Okay, yeah, sure. Now fucking, especially because of COVID and people had time, there is an oversaturation of podcasts. And that's what sucks, because like, for instance, 88 miles per hour podcast, there's so many versions of that show out there because there's so much nostalgia style shows, and there's more every other day. We're like, we just started our podcast that, and you have a lot of fucking competition now. And it's like, as long as you provide a good product, you're gonna have listeners, But I do believe there is so much out there that it could possibly, I hope it never crashes where people are just like, fuck podcasts, we don't want to listen to them anymore. I highly doubt it, but that's my worry, that people are just gonna get tired because there's so many out there that's just like, hey, I'm not gonna support you, I got my own podcast to worry about, type of thing. And that, it should really be about a family thing, but it's hard because I know there's a lot of competition out there, and people are gonna be like, I don't want to fucking, I gotta worry about my show. And you're just like, why? You're like, let's be friends, man. We don't have to fight. Like,
right on.
But it is like, all these shows out there, it's just there's so many that it makes it hard for your show. I'm not saying your show in general, like in general, your show to thrive, because there's so many others out there, where back when it was easy. Like I said, like back when we were doing, from 2012 is when we started BrotherBear. We ended in 26. Right there, fucking, we would do our show live. Like, we didn't know anybody else that was doing their show live out of a studio at the time, unless you were like a big with like Adam Carolla and shit. But and then so people would tune in, and like I said, like over 8,000 live views every Monday night, and it was awesome and shit. Like, oh, it was such a good feeling that, like, dude, people they're tuning in from around the world just to watch our dumbasses like laugh and have fun. And 88, like, I started in 2014. And then I took at the beginning of 2017, I took a long period off, and then in 2020 is when I got the show back. And I started kind of rebranding, but coming back to it, it was such a change, because I was like, fuck, like, now there's so many out there. It's like, it's hard to promote. It's like, you got to promote it. So when you look at my page, I don't just like, hey, check out my episode. Like, I create videos, try to post scenes from movies, have fun with it and stuff. One of my more like I did Blood In Blood Out versus Anchorman, where I mashed the two together, and people love that shit. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna try to have fun with my videos, add a different song and stuff like that. So it's really pretty much about just competition now. Like yes, it's an oversaturation, and I'm not hating on any other shows because I'm never gonna. Why am I gonna be like, well, fuck your show? Nah, that's not me. But I do
Yeah.
admit that I'm competing with you. Where there's no hate, there's no malice, but we all compete with each other, unless you're like, yours is kind of different, but like, all the nostalgia shows, that's my competition, really.
Right. Yeah.
If it's a true crime, no, either you're into true crime or you're into, fucking, oh, let's watch The Fly and talk about it. It's like, yeah, they can listen to both. But if it's, if there's a bunch of interview shows out there, you're competing with all of them. Like
Yeah.
that's the tough part. It's like, so because there's so much out there.
Yeah, there's I have no clue if it's an oversaturation. I don't know. Because I haven't been around for that long to experience if something is oversaturated or not. Because when I first came in, it seemed like a huge, like overpopulated, let's see, art to get into, or oversaturated thing to get into. But I mean, other than, I don't know, it's just it's different. Like you said, it can be competitive, and I think it's just generally what your maybe niche and delivery, and I mean, there's 7.3 billion people in the world, so somebody has to like your shit. somebody,
Exactly.
a group of
Yeah.
somebody, So
Yeah, of course. Most of our listeners are overseas. Like whenever we track like on the charts,
yeah,
it's overseas always. Like the US, like we struggle here because there's fucking so many. But overseas, dude, there's every time, dude. I'm like, oh fuck, we hit Ireland, Mexico, fucking Guam, like all these shits, dude. Like everywhere, like all right, cool. It's like, so we're like, you know what? We're an international podcast. Like fucking that's where our most of our fan base come from. So we're happy about that. Like fucking wherever they listen, we don't care. Check it. Like we're just happy. Like honestly, wherever they listen to. But yeah, it's because I think it's because of the US. It's an oversaturation.
Yeah. And I mean, there you go. I guess that was another one before we jump on another tangent.
Yeah.
That was a show. Santos, thanks for stopping by and talking to me and going over your history and podcasting and your show and Freddy Krueger and Cholo and all that good stuff. So that was another one, guys. We're gonna have a special, I guess, sound coming in, and that's about it. So enjoy. Everybody stay safe and have a happy Halloween. Thank you.
The Mindbuzz Podcast.